actually wearing a jacket today, and I have done so for most of the day. It's been in the low 70s here, very breezy, cool for us, and a welcome respite from the heat. In part one, I mentioned our quandary as to whether or not to splash. And here are some more projects that we have completed or found workarounds in order to enable us to splash. The rudder shoe was now ready to go back on. With the rudder suspended by a line to both cockpit winches and using generous amounts of 4200.
You see those cords?
Yeah, the corners there.
That fills the net, and that's it.
We have to put some in the holes then for when we pound those things
Yes,
in?
but once we get that part on, then we want to put a little bit on the way we are pushing those studs. Now,
oh, you want to get that edge there.
what about it?
Oh, there it goes. There it
Okay,
goes.
just to hold the part.
Okay.
Okay.
Lee and Omar carefully placed the shoe onto the heel of the keel.
Okay.
Once the silicone bronze rods were inserted, they attempted to mushroom the ends of the rods. Using sledgehammers just didn't do the trick. Omar returned later with an air compressor and an impact hammer. With the help of Jose and a heavy piece of iron, he was able to successfully mash the heads of the rods. Completely rewiring the boat is on our summer list of big jobs. As several of you have commented, it is a mess. I sometimes find Lee just shaking his head when he is working with the wiring. At present, he is trying to ensure that everything works and makes repairs where needed.
So, what did you find earlier?
Well, the connections to the zinc, some of them were gray, some black, some green, some red. I sure didn't like the red ones there, so I've taken them out, at least gotten I wanted to replace them all with the green. I didn't have enough green, so we're doing black until the new roll of green comes in.
Oh, okay. So we'll get those when we go up the end of May.
Yep, to Beverly's graduation there.
He is chomping at the bit for the day he can start ripping out wires. Our old nemesis, the fuel tank, reared its ugly head the other day when Omar was checking the fuel uptake hose in the tank. Even though the tank has been virtually empty since October, when he felt the underside of the tank, it was still damp where residual fuel had pooled inside the tank. Obviously, there were pinhole leaks, and we felt let down that our two other knowledgeable resources hadn't come to this conclusion when we consulted them in October. Lee and Omar pulled the tank.
Well, you know what? I don't think we should plan on splashing.
Anytime soon, huh?
No, not until next fall. We'll just stay and this would be a great opportunity to rewire and.
Yep, I think that's what I want to be doing is rewiring. All this is apart, it's going to make things a lot easier. So not that it would leak fast, but it would leak some, and that was the lower part. That's why you did keep smelling it.
Yeah, it just kind of seeped through. Huh?
See?
Oh.
That's impossible. You can get a hole with this thing,
But
only if it is.
Only if it's just
Corroded
kind of
rotten.
corroded and rotten.
Here's another one here. See?
Wow. Oh, look at that.
So it was time.
Yeah.
So what he's gonna do is cut this, put another plate, weld it on.
Which
Pretty
of course
good.
means we're going to be smaller tank. We have to
Well,
motor even a lot less.
While the fuel tank was out for repairs, we took advantage of the opportunity to clean the bilge. It took a day and a half of steady work to scrub, flush, and repeat yet again. Once the bilge was as grease-free as we could make it, I applied the last of our bilge paint. Luis Hernandez quickly repaired the tank and it is ready for installation. The bottom has been replaced, the tank was pressure tested, and all seams that showed possible leakage have been rewelded. A second inspection cleanout plate has been added at the bow end of the tank. A baffle was added to reduce sloshing of the fuel in rough seas. The fuel fill was relocated, so the fill hose no longer needs to make a sharp 90-degree bend. And a drain at the lowest point of the tank was added so fuel can be easily drained off to be polished. Luis does quality work and charged us only $200 for the repairs. With the rapid turnaround on the tank, it still makes it possible for us to splash. What remains to be done? We are awaiting a time when Omar can connect the fuel plumbing and put the finishing touches on the engine. Once the tank is plumbed, some fiberglassing will need to be done to restrain the tank and the floor supports reinstalled. Thank you to our viewers that gave their thoughts on whether or not to splash. Our thinking at this point is to proceed packing up the boat and doing the chores to ready the boat for splashing. If we can splash before we depart for California, we will leave the boat in a marina. If the boat is ready within a few days of our return in early June, we would also splash and perhaps stay at the almost free docks. We will keep you all in the loop as to how things are proceeding here at the boat. Until then,